Bum.
Hey everyone! Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are from. My name is Berlin Yoshimi, and we are about to start the JCG International match. This is the sixth time, and it is going to be Rascal Jester from Japan, and from the Taiwan team, it is going to be PKMaster. And with me today, with a face on Skype, it is Mr. Corey Swanson.
Yeah, all right. So that's fantastic. It's good to be here. I know you're all probably waiting for Ferlin's face to blot out the screen, but don't worry, she's still here. Her face is huge. So if that's what you're here for, great. But hopefully you're here for some really good League of Legends because, like Ferlin said, it is Rascal Jester versus the PK Masters tonight. So it should be a good match. We'll have to see how it all goes down. But thanks for tuning in. I feel like I'm really excited for a good match tonight, Ferlin.
Me too. I'm very excited. They are a semi pro to pro team. They are in the LNL, which is the League Nova in Taiwan. It's a mixture of Taiwan, Macau, and Hong Kong. It's all three together. It's a professional league, and the top four teams of the league will move on to the GPL, which is the regional huge league. So I'm very excited to have the games today. It will be a best of three. And so we're excited to get the games going. We'll start in about 10 minutes. PKM are complaining a little bit about the ping issues, which is, they're complaining that it's a 200 ping, and that for Japan is like everyday thing.
Yeah, so hopefully it'll get figured out. The beauty of these international show matches, maybe for those of you who have tuned in for many of them with us already, or just it's your first time, what servers do we play on? How do we find good pings? That kind of seems to be the eternal question, which is probably why they don't happen as much as we would like. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. We'll get that straightened out. Hopefully, everybody will be okay to play and get that underway. Uh,
Today we are going to be playing on the Korean servers though. So me and Corey already have our client updated, so I'm very
yeah.
excited to have the
Woo!
games in today. And so for the PK Masters, the top lane we have RK9, and in the jungle we have LV Tuck. In the mid lane, instead of Pikachu, we have Maya. And in the ADC, and support bot lane, we have Lapras as well as Shingami.
All right. So, for those of you following along at home, make sure you brought your Pokedex because there's a lot of wild Pokemon going to be running around Summoner's Rift this evening. Should be a good time. And on the other side, who do we have playing for Rascal Jester? Do we know actually? Because they've got a couple subs as well. You
So
have the
we do have,
finalized.
I have the finalized one.
Great.
So Afro is going to be in the top lane. Rainbrain is going to be in the jungle. Upperman is going to be the mid laner, and in the bot lane we have RKP as the AD carry and Low Belt as the support. So no big changes there. It's always been this main five we're playing, and so we're very excited to have the game started in roughly about 10 minutes or so.
Uh,
Oops.
oops. What'd you do,
Oh, I,
Ferlin?
I just, never mind, nothing. We're good. We are
Nothing at
good.
all.
Nothing at all.
All right. So as Ferlin was saying, PK Masters PKM is a pro semi-professional team from Taiwan. You may have heard of them. You can actually find them a little bit. I think there were some maybe links going out in the chat as well. However, for those of you maybe not so familiar with the Japan League of Legends scene, on the other side, it's Rascal Jester. Rascal Jester, arguably the top team in Japan at the moment, coming off strong wins all over the place. Grand Championship for JCG winners, Season 1 winners, and currently sitting actually at the top of the LJ League as well. So really, really fun team to watch. They came from the old Peach Server All Stars,
Yeah.
and kind of reformed and became, I don't know, they reformed and became stronger than ever before, which really has been their story this year.
It really has been. They have, I don't know, it's a change of name that really sprung them up a little bit, but they are, very very different team now. They have won most of the competitions that are in Japan, and they're proving to be a very strong team. Let me just quickly say my highs in
Oh
Mandarin
yeah, go ahead.
for
We've got a lot of Mandarin
the
tonight.
Mandarin people. Yeah.
So
大家晚上好，我是 Ferlin Yoshimi，你们也可以叫我佳美。今天玩的是我们 JCG 的表演赛。今天玩的队伍是日本的 Rascal Jester RJ 对台湾的 PKMaster PKM。我们今晚玩的是 BO3，我们比赛要在5到10分钟就会开始。你们台湾的时间应该是8点，如果你们从中国来看的话，也是8点那样。只有日本我们9点开始，但是你们那边的话就是8点会开始。我最近没有，是前天。上个礼拜，礼拜六跟礼拜天我都在上海，我去了上海一会儿，在那边直播了OGN 的中文版，然后跟以前的 IG 的辅助的小小一起直播，你们有看到的话，我就很开心。那天就是直播的全部都在中文嘛，所以有点不熟悉，但是我在那边真的学了很多，就是学了怎么讲你们中文的英雄联盟怎么解说的，因为我通常是解说英文跟日文对吗？所以这次解说的话都是用中文来解说，然后真的学了很多东西，所以今天解说的话我会解说英文，也会加一点中文在里面。但是今天玩的是 PKM 跟我们日本的队友 RJ，应该会很 exciting，很很 exciting，yeah，所以你们要好好期待，我们到5分钟左右会开始。Okay, so do you want to say your highs in Japanese?
What? Well, I was just gonna say ni hao, I guess.
Would
That's about all I
you
got. But
repeat
yeah,
that, just?
じゃあ、日本語、まあ別に日本人とか日本語が話せる方には、このストリームに、よろしく。でも、まあもしかして日本語で見たいなら、日本語の配信もやってますので、それは twitch.tv スラッシュ、何でしたっけ？
JCG LOL.
Thank you. JCGLL で見れるんだけれども、もしかして、私とフェリンでいいなら、まあ、ここでぜひ見てください。これ、台湾の PKM、PK マスターというチームと日本のラスカルジェスターで、国際交流戦やるつもりなので、これからあと、5分。
つもりじゃないです。やります。やります。
じゃあやるからね、ぜひ見てください。これあと、まあ、10分ぐらいでしょ？ 5 分、10分ぐらい。
後でスタートしたいと思います。
だから、please watch here。まあ、
Yes。
日本語でもいいけど。
はい、sorry。今日の、ジャパン e スポーツの、配信だと、英語になりますので、本当、日本語が良い方だと、JCG ロールの配信の方に、いてください。でもよかったらぜひ、ここでも残ってほしいです。
フェリもいるし、私、コーリと申しますので。じゃあ、これから、let's get started, huh?
Yeah, we're gonna start in like 4 minutes or so, so I'm really excited to get the games going. Yeah, I was in Shanghai over the weekend. It was pretty awesome. I got to meet Xiao Xiao.
The support for, well, I guess former support for
Yeah,
IG.
Yeah, he's got some pretty awesome news too, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, it was very fun being there. Like Shanghai was a lot nicer than I remembered, because the last time I went was maybe like half a year ago for another trip, but it was pretty good. Yeah. But let's talk about the teams today. To be honest with you, I don't know much about PKM. We won't be starting as soon because I think Pikachu went to Omaya when to restart his computer.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah. I as well don't know a whole lot about PKM. I didn't actually know we were doing this until about recently.
Yeah.
So I didn't have so much time to look them up. But from what I have seen, what I managed to find a little bit today, it looks like they're doing fairly well recently. Is that true? Am I completely off base? Am I lying? I could be.
I do not.
Or do you have no idea either?
No, I do not know. I'm not gonna lie, because Oops. Okay, don't touch that anymore. But yeah, I really don't know because I can't find information or much information about them, unfortunately. But I think we're gonna have a lot more to say after we watch the first game. Yeah, I went
Yeah.
to touch the screens a little bit. Okay, never
No,
mind.
it's
Yeah. We will know a lot more to talk about how they want to play after the first game, especially after the first pick and ban phase. So we kind of, have a feel about like what kind of champions like to play, what kind of play style they have.
right. Well, and I was just gonna say, I think it was last year they were actually club activist, and participated in kind of a lesser league. It was the esports ranking, 2013. At the end of that, I believe they actually took the championship, is what allowed them to move up here into the LNL Spring
Yes.
series.
Hmm.
So at least in terms of where they were last year, they're definitely becoming a stronger team. So in that sense, I think it's going to be a really good matchup just to have two teams who are really kind of on their way up here, kind of hone their skills and what do I want to say, kind of grind up against each other and see basically who comes out on top. So I think you're right. It'll be interesting to see, especially after that first match. Like that's going to really set the pace for tonight, because at this point in time, I have no idea how this is going to turn out.
Yeah, I really don't know too. I mean, PK Masters is not that well known, I would say, um in Taiwan as compared to, the top couple teams. But by no means are they like a bad team for sure. I mean, they are one of the top teams in Taiwan, I mean, they are in the LNL, so they must have, good like records behind them. But
Mm.
we can't just diss RJ at the same time. Yes, they are a Japanese team. Yes, we don't have much international experience, but they are doing their best and they are trying their hardest.
Well, yeah, and I mean, like we mentioned before, Rascal Jester actually been playing really well over the course of the past 2 or 3 months, taking home I think a lot in prize money both from JCG, and they're way out in front of the standings of the LJ League, which is the other league here in Japan. Uh, so don't expect them to be pushovers by any means. I'm really excited. I love to watch Rascal Jester play. So that's what we're going to see tonight. And we always talk about Appamen in the mid lane. But honestly, I think it's all about the bot lane. Little Belt is maybe the cutest League of Legends player in Japan. So, regardless of skill, we get to see him play tonight as well. Unfortunately, we won't be seeing player cameras, but
Yeah. Yeah, you know, we've always, like you said, we've always been raving about Appaman, but I am such a big fan of RKP.
Mhm.
He has pretty awesome mechanical skills for ADC, and he's doing extremely well for, somebody who's playing on 160 ping and
Right.
who has never really like does like offline events and stuff. And he's always the one that's carrying his team, and I don't want to put them as a one strategy team like carry the ADC, but
Mhm.
his combination with low belt at the bot lane has always been if not good, pretty consistent. He's always consistent. He's never had like a bad game. It's always very consistent.
Right. I definitely think that's the case. And even with Rascal Jester, when you get Appamen in the mid lane and you get him to start to carry, if RKP isn't doing well, it's usually not a good situation for Rascal Jester. And I think that's really been a source of their success this season. Like you mentioned, we haven't really seen RKP play poorly this year.
Okay, we are jumping into picks and bans, and it is going to it is going to
What
PK.
team?
What am I saying? It is going to be PKM on the blue side, and on the red side it will be RJ, which means that PKM will have the first pick for this game, and the first ban will be the Lulu. Nothing extremely surprising here. Lulu has been a consistent meta ban. You cannot give it to somebody. If you don't ban her, you better make sure that you actually pick her. And on the other side, the first ban coming up from RJ is going to be the Yasuo. I think that's a really good respect ban because the Taiwan teams and the Chinese teams have been playing really well on the Yasuo, and have made very good combinations on them. NA and EU has not been very successful with it, but the Taiwan teams and the Chinese teams have had pretty moderate success on the Yasuo combinations.
Yeah, a lot of Yasuo over here. And as you can see, we're not actually in the studio today, so I'm not quite up to date. Ferlin, you're going to have to keep me up to date.
Okay.
I do think we have more bans coming out, so what have we got?
All right, and on the other side for PKM, the second ban will be the Evelyn, and on RJ it is going to be the Kazakhs. I don't know if this is something that is targeted towards the champions, the players, or is this something that they just don't want them to have. But Kazakhs has been a crazy. It is a meta ban, I would say, because Kazakhs has been very strong in the latest patch. I don't know if they're playing on a 4.4 right now, but he has been amazing on the recent patches. And
yeah,
so,
it is 4.4 tonight. So
okay, and so it is going to be important for them to ban out this Kazakhs. And the last ban coming out will be the Renekton and the Pantheon. These are all very meta bans and respect bans as well. You can't give a Renekton over because he's so popular with all the top laners as of recent, and so you can't really give that away. And Pantheon has had incredible success over all the regions.
yeah, I think these are all just a lot of picks here of just champions you don't want to play against. That's why they're meta bans. That Renekton in the top lane doesn't really matter who you go up against. You basically win against everybody who's favorable in the top lane meta right now. And that Kazakhs, you mentioned it, but he's this bug that just doesn't die. We saw nerfs coming out, and everybody was like, oh no, Kazakhs, like he's not viable. We can't play him. But with the ultimate changes as well, he doesn't go away. And this is really unprofessional. I think I have somebody at the door, so I'll be right back.
Okay, all right, so I'll just keep talking. So for PKM, the first pick will be the Lee Sin. I don't know if this is something that Maya loves to play, but I'm very excited to see. Oh no, sorry. I don't know if this is what LV Talk likes to play, but I'm really excited to see how he takes it with this champion. I mean, it's always such a viable champion, very good early game. On the other side, it's going to be off-road on the Shyvana and RKP on Caitlyn. Caitlyn is a very safe AD carry. It's always good to have her in lane. She can stay back and farm, be a little bit more safe, and it's always good to have her. Unless she has not a lot of counters. Yes, she has them, but not too many. And Shyvana is a very stable top laner. She is really good in middle game, and then she scales really well into the late game. And on the other side, they are hovering over the Varus and the Soraka. But now they are hovering over Lucian, which I think is a better pick over Varus, because Varus is not something we see a lot in competitive play. We see him only once, actually, who was played by Genja, had a crazy game on in IEM, made everybody go crazy. And Maya is actually still hovering over Soraka. I mean, if this is picked in, I'll be really surprised.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. That's not somebody you usually see, but if they do lock in Lucian here, Lucian will take advantage of all the mana that Soraka is able to provide.
No, they have locked in Soraka and the Graves.
All right. Well.
But no, if Joe Miller was here, he would be so happy. He loves Soraka. But it is going to be Soraka and Graves for the bot lane duo for PKM. I'm really interested to see how this goes, because this is not something we see very on the meta with the pro teams out there for NA, EU, Korea, or China. And so Graves does need a good mana base, but I don't know if the combination of both Soraka and him will work well, because there is no CC except for Soraka's silence.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I know we're getting actually more picks probably coming out here really quick, but the one thing to note in that duo lane is Graves already gets a lot of armor from his passive, and then Soraka's going to be giving him even more armor with heals. How that's going to work against the Caitlyn, I'll be interested to see. But what do we have coming out from RJ?
So RJ has picked the Nami and the Vi. I'm not surprised at all by the Vi pick, because it's a Japanese thing. Japanese people love Vi. It's a very viable pick. Of course, with the Pantheon being banned, you have to have a strong jungler, and Vi will have that for you. A Sudden Battery and Vault Breaker is so crucial here. But the Nami pick, I don't like the Nami pick. One is that she doesn't give much to the team. She's not a team player. If she misses an Aqua Prison, she's basically useless for a long time. And in the current meta, or in the 2014 season, supports like Nami just completely fall off the face because you want people like Morgana, Annie, Thresh, Karma, not somebody like a Nami. She's just not something that people play now anymore.
You're
Yeah.
right. And I actually, I'm a little behind, so I'm not fully up to date. But does it look like this Morgana and they must be? I'm so far behind. But are
Yes.
Morgana and Gragas locked in? Which means I'm guessing that this Morgana is going to be the support, or it's actually not Gragas. It looks like LeBlanc because I'm so far
Yeah.
behind.
So it's
So are we going to see a top lane Soraka? Because
yeah.
apparently Arcanine has been known to play this a little bit,
So it is going to be it
which would
is
be
going to be.
fantastic.
Maya is going to be playing I don't know where it is because I don't know like because I don't know who's this Maya person. I think Shingami is here, Arcanine is here. Lapras is not here, so I think Lapras is I have no idea what's happening with the team names. But it looks like the last couple picks is going to be LeBlanc, the Soraka, this and Morgana. So what happens is in China right now, LeBlanc support is a thing. It's a huge thing in China. LeBlanc support is huge in China, and so I don't know if there's something that they pick up, but it does look like the Morgana is going to be the support. Nothing, surprising here because people love their Morganas. Korea has picked it up after IEM when NA and EU played it so much, and it was a complete shock to them. As well as let's just pull up the summoners for you guys right now. And so Arcanine is going to be in the top lane. He is going to take that teleport. And we are going to see a top lane Soraka. We have seen this a lot in solo queue. So there's a lot of solo queue Sorakas up there right now. And so it's pretty I'm pretty excited to see how this comes into play for today. And so the last couple picks for RJ is going to the last pick actually is going to the Nidalee. So Upperman is going to play the Nidalee. Nidalee is from what you see here, RJ is playing a Pokecom. It's very simple. They're playing a complete Pokecom. You have Caitlyn and you have Nidalee. They need to put the other team. They need to put PKM down because the spears will hit the Piltover as well as the range coming from Caitlyn is going to poke down the other team. But the Pokecom, what's bad about the Pokecom is that you need to scale really well early game. If not, you're gonna fall off really badly late game, especially if you don't hit those spears. And if you get caught from behind, it will be a very messy fight for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting because you're right. RJ is going to have to get some of that damage down before they allow Rainbrain and Arfo to really jump in with their ultimates here. So we'll see. I know Oppaman plays a bit of Nidalee, so that won't be a problem. RKP, I'm more used to seeing on like a Sivir or a Vayne, so it'll be interesting to see what they do with Caitlyn in the bot lane. On the other side, there's a lot going on. You talked about it a little bit, but boy, LeBlanc in the mid lane, Morgana in the bot lane, Soraka. By the way, Soraka with teleport,
Yeah, she is going to hold that teleport.
which is pretty fantastic. There was a little comments going out, but this is a fairly high level League of Legends match, and you're gonna be able to see some Soraka in the top lane there, coming for those super teleport ganks. You know, the power of Soraka, who's actually deceptively kind of strong when you start building AP on her. So, yeah, I don't know. At this point in time, as we wait for the game to begin, as casters, I suppose we should maybe make our picks. Who do you think is going to take here game one? Since we don't know a lot about the teams,
Um,
simply based on champions alone.
I'm gonna talk a little bit more
Oh
about
yeah, go for it.
PKM. So what they have is it's a very AP heavy composition. This is what Fnatic in EU likes to run. They like to run a 2 AP comp, but they don't usually run it with a Soraka. They do run it with the Gragas in the top lane. And so I don't know how it's going to be with the Soraka up top lane because her ultimate doesn't do much for a team except save maybe save one of their teammates. But the good thing about this team comp, I think, is that they can sustain it very well. But it's not a team comp that you want to initiate. They can't initiate. The only person that can initiate on the team is going to be the Lee Sin. If he can get in and kick someone back, it's going to be an instant kill. But they're so squishy, and so with a poke comp like RJ have, they're gonna poke down this team very, very easily because they are so squishy. Soraka is known to be extremely squishy, and I don't know what runes is RK9 running, but I don't see it going to be a very armor heavy champion, and so she mostly runs. You can run an AD Soraka, but it's I don't know. Like, it really depends on how she's gonna run. But I am very much trying to. I don't know. It really depends on how the early game goes. But I'm gonna say it's RJ's game just because they are a pop comp, and that PKM is a team. They look like a team right now with the pick comps that they are very squishy because they have LeBlanc and that Soraka. It's assassin. It's assassin comp though, because LeBlanc will just one shot somebody from the other team.
Yeah, so we'll have
That was very long. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I absolutely love it. Because it's been so long since I've seen, well, a Soraka top, and just Graves in general is not an AD carry who's been getting a lot of love lately. So I'm really excited to see how this plays out. And again, though, like you're talking about this assassin, you have LeBlanc burst and Graves, kind of one of the main AD carry casters, if you will. There's so much damage coming out from his buckshot and his ultimate. But I think we're just about ready to jump into game here.
Yeah, we are into game, so let's get this game started, ladies and
on the screen,
gentlemen.
And here we go. This is JCG Japan Competitive Gaming. It's Japan's Rascal Jester facing off against Taiwan's PKMaster here in the international show match for JCG. Just kidding. We're going to take a pause.
Okay, so I'm going to say in Mandarin for this again. 我们即将会开始我们的表演赛，今天会是台湾的队伍 PKMaster 跟日本的队伍 RJ Rascal Jester。我们 PKM 的上路会是 上路会是 RK9， 在大野会是 LV Talk， 在中路会是 Maya， 然后在下路的 AD Carry 会是 Pikachu， 然后辅助会是 Shin Gami。然后我们的 RJ 日本队伍的上路会是 Arfo， 大野会是 Rainbray， 在中路会是 Upperman， 然后下路的 ADC 会是 RKP， 然后辅助会是 Lilbelt。 我们即将会开始第一场，我们今天玩的是 BO3 Best of 3， 然后第一场会即将开始。然后现在我们进去了一个 pause， 我不太清楚是什么回事，但是没关系，很快就会开始了。Alright, so we are going to get into game real soon. The pause has been resumed, so we're going to get into game really, really quickly. So this is the 4.4 patch, ladies and gentlemen, so there is a lot of changes coming in. The biggest changes, obviously, will be the trinket time.
Right. And if we're talking about changes, there are absolutely no changes in terms of format. This will be a best of 3, as we are now getting the game underway. It was a small disconnect from Maya. Everybody's here now, and we can actually see something we don't see very often out of Japanese teams, and that's 4 men of RJ standing here in the top river bush. Meanwhile, actually, right opposite of them is PKM in the bot lane bush. Arfode, very dangerous position. Hopefully we don't get a Q out of Shin Gami for RJ, but that'll be a nice pickup if PKM does manage to throw a blind Q into that bush, as all 5 members are here.
Arfode is going to be in big trouble. They are not chasing. They are not going to waste any flash yet, and Arfo is going to look like she's going to give up the first kill without using any of his summoners. So this is a big thing. This is a big change because in the 4.4 patch, the trinket times have been changed to 2 minutes, and so it's very hard for people. We are not really sure how teams are going to play with the current live patch yet, how they're going to ward and how are they going to fight the level 1 fights. But just now, like you see, Arthur got caught up, didn't want to use any of his summoners, did give up his first blood though.
Yeah, and so that's actually really unfortunate for Rascal Jester. It was a bit of a strange runaway. He actually showed himself. He could have stayed in the bush and run away back towards his Nexus. However, he gave that up. And actually now, RKP is going to be spotted out. A lot of damage already coming on Arcanine, but Arcanine has that first blood, and the rest of PKM is here to help the team out. Rainbrain trying his hardest to get on the blue buff, but will they be able to steal this? It's a 3v4 situation. Smite comes out. No kills picked up. A nice spear coming out of Oppamin. All things said and done, it will be a stolen blue buff for RJ. So even though giving up first blood, they're able to pick up a little bit of an advantage in the buff, and already Oppamin showing how to land those spears. They're coming all over the place, as he's now actually taken a lot of damage as well from LeBlanc in the mid lane.
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to be a lane swap. So So Rascal Jesters will send Arthur into the bot lane instead of. It is going to be a 1v2. It's going to be a little bit harder for Shyvana compared to a Soraka in top lane, because it's harder for Arthur to actually farm, but at the same time Soraka is so squishy that one small move that she makes wrong is going to cost her her life.
Right, so it's the tankiness of Shyvana versus the ability to farm from Soraka under that tower. Bust out your telescopes, because it'll be a lot of Starfall up in the top lane, as both of the dual lanes now for both teams now pushing very, very hard into the turret. Pings coming out from Vi actually in the top lane. We might be seeing an early dive. However, there's a really good ward already up there, and they will spot Rainbrain out. Soraka's going to have to play really careful, though, to make sure, as a lot of damage coming out already. He is standing on the ward. Yeah, that's exactly what you said. As Soraka has to be careful, and knows. You can actually see dancing behind the turret Arcanine here, as this could be the dive coming from Rainbrain. Will they be able to manage the turret aggro? Little Belt taking one. He does hit the Q. And
ooh,
yeah.
Very beautiful take from RJ. So what happens is that Soraka has the ability to sustain very well in lane, because she has a heal and she has silent, and so it's very easy for her to just completely stay in lane for a long time. So Arcanine just uses teleport to get back into lane, so they know, so RJ know that teleport will be down for the next couple minutes, and so that's a really good thing. But you can see Rainbrain and three of them are going in hard on this turret. They want to take it down as fast as they can, because on the other side, the first turret has been taken already for PKM. It will be the first turret game, and it will be the bot lane of RJ's.
Right, so that was actually a really good response from PKM there, and especially from LV Talk there. He saw that top lane Soraka go down, came right into the bot lane, as now we have them diving really hard on Arfo. He's gonna have to blow his flash to get out of that. The binding coming up from Shingami there as well. Which is actually going to mean Arpo's got to back off a lot here, and a lot of damage is going to come down on the second tier turret. Speaking of damage, though, there's a lot going down on Arcanine and the top lane turret, so boy, this is something we haven't seen for a while. But you talk about fast push, and this is a very, very good example, as the bottom lane turret now for RJ sitting at about a third of its health already.
Yeah, PKM is actually doing a very good job at holding the top lane. They hold this top lane a lot longer than they really should. Soraka, Arcanine, is doing a really good job in just holding the turret. But we do see Arfod actually having a bigger CS lead over her, despite being pushed so hard into the lane. And you can tell that both junglers are just trying to hold off this push. PKM's Lee Sin, LV Talk, is pushing with the team, because he wants that turret down as well, as soon as RJ's bot lane goes back. And Arcanine is going to be taken down, actually.
All right, that's what happens when you don't have a ward in the bush. RJ was actually recalling, and Arcanine not quite face checking, but got close enough. The Ignite coming out and going down. So that's going to basically allow both, I want to say bot lanes, but RJ is in the top lane now. They're both going to recall, pick up some items here. Oppamin as well looks to probably recall here as well. I think it's a very interesting choice, because the lane swap actually here is coming out of RJ. It allowed them to steal that blue buff early, but when you have a Caitlyn versus a Graves has a bit of a difficult time farming, taking harass from Caitlyn, and RJ basically said, we're not going to do that. We're going to put that in the top lane. admittedly, like you said before, Soraka a bit squishy, and they're taking advantage of that. But so far, it's 2 turrets to 1 in favor of PKM. And Rainbrain going really low in the mid lane as well.
Yeah, I mean, once Maya gets level 6, once LeBlanc get level 6, she's going to crush you really, really easily. But Upperman is level... No, she just turned level 6, and so she will have that Cougar form, and so she will have a better time in escaping with that W coming out from her Cougar form.
All right, and now, yeah, I was just going to say, we see the farm starting to come out. Caitlyn doing a better job of that. Already with the BF sword. Now in the bot lane, they don't have towers behind them. But at this point in time, RKP with that BF sword is just going to be doing a lot more damage than Graves. And is going to be able to do it from a lot farther distance. So you can see PKM playing pretty far back right now as the wave is fairly pushed.
Yeah, and obviously Caitlyn has a bigger CS lead, like she really should. I mean, if you're Caitlyn and you're playing early game, there's no excuse for you to be losing the CS difference, and so she's winning on that. Rainbrain gets caught out by the Q coming out from Lee Sin, but he doesn't want to follow that up. Sonic Wave, yeah, that was what I was going to say. Sonic Wave. I keep forgetting those names. Yeah, Lil Bud's actually going a little bit aggressive onto the bot lane there, but nothing comes out of it. It's really important for Little Belt to actually land his Aqua Prisons, because you can land your Aqua Prison and have Caitlyn put another trap down right below it to really give that combo, which people like to play with when Nami actually first came out. But it looks like actually they're doing a pretty decent job. RJ does have the goal lead, albeit with just a 400 goal lead though.
Right, and so part of the respect that RJ is getting here, RKP in the bot lane, is RKP actually hit level 6 first, has been 6 for a while, and Pikachu still standing at 5, so it's an extra farm going in favor of Caitlyn. Just not a fight you want to do, because even when the fight disengages, it means Caitlyn has one last opportunity with her ace in the hole to put that damage down. As we now maybe see a gank coming up from Vi, she might actually go stand on a ward in the jungle. So all things considered, you do have to say good job, PKM, for getting wards all over RJ's jungle. And both junglers now look like they're maybe going to head to the bot lane, are going to back off. And after that real first kind of exciting super push, we have not seen a whole lot between either team here.
Yeah, so what's happening is that, you know, RJ have learned not to face check too much and really up their game in terms of just warding the lanes, because they had a lot of mistakes with not warding, and Aquapriza actually misses, and they are going in. Vine is coming in as well.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. And here comes the ult out of Rainbrain. I was waiting for the Nami ultimate. She still has that as well. Lisa and LV is here. Rainbrain going very low. Trying to turn this around. But the flash coming out of LV, the Ignite's going to come down to not the Rune Prison, the Aqua Prison. One of the prisons is going to come down. And it will be a kill picked up. And good news for RJ, that one as well, going across to RKP. So we talked about RKP, AD carry. When he does well, RJ does well. And so
they cannot be staying here. LeBlanc is coming in. She is on full AP and on full mana, full HP. Like, she's going to burst someone down very easily, but at the same time we do see our Shyvana coming in as well. So what happened just then? Lee Sin actually had a beautiful kick in. Vi was actually completely kicked in under the turret, but I think it was bad communication between PKM, because they didn't actually follow up with that kick, and they didn't actually take Vi down at all. She survived throughout all of that.
Yeah, so that was just a good rotation there from Arfod, which allowed RJ to pick up basically an uncontested dragon. You talked about a scary LeBlanc in that bot lane, but Morgana, Shingami's Morgana, and LV Lee Sin both had no HP, had to recall from that bot lane, which resulted in essentially a free dragon for RJ. The push now, though, coming out onto the mid lane turret. Is RJ going to be able to defend this? Well, with no creeps there, looks like that tower will live to see another day.
Yeah. 第一条小龙会是 RJ 的小龙. Yeah, and so it's 3 for 1 now. It's almost at a 1.3k difference now, and that difference is actually coming in from the dragon as well as the little bit of CS lead that every champion has over the other side. Actually, to be honest with you, Vi is actually losing a lot of CS compared to Lee Sin. 40 to 24.
Yeah, but what's interesting at that is it doesn't really matter at this point because the gold is actually very, very close for both of those junglers. And so when you start taking a look at where the gold is piling up, there's over 1,000 gold already, 4,400 to 3,200 on the AD carry for RJ. So with that Bloodthirster already completed, it's going to be a huge bully in this lane. As you can see, Pikachu and Shinigami kind of just trying to stay back as this wave in the bot lane will get pushed. Damage is coming out from the ace in the hole out of RKP, trying to force them off of this turret. Pretty good wave clear coming out with the buckshot and the pools from Morgana. Other than that, yeah, I really like right now what RJ is doing, and RKP is farming that Bloodthirster. Well, Graves currently, Pikachu's only sitting on the Bilgewater Cutlass, so they cannot stick around to fight this right now at all. Although, however, Lee Sin has come from behind, and here comes the Soraka teleport. Will it be enough? Brain takes a LV top kick to the face. A beautiful tidal wave coming out of Little Bell. It's going to force a disengage, and RJ is going to walk away from this one.
Yeah, right there, I don't know what LV Top was really thinking because he was way off in terms of just radar. He did kick Vi back into the fight, but everyone else was just so far behind that they couldn't really react to that ultimate coming out from him, and so everybody lived through that. It's a 0-for-0, no kills coming out from there. Maya does manage to land her combination, but only managed to take down Aquaman. Not barely half of his health is gone, and he can completely just heal himself back up with that as well. Let's take a look at the CS difference then. Oh, but the Vault Breaker comes out from Vi.
Yeah, so has anybody seen Graves? Graves no longer a factor in this bot lane as he disappears. A beautiful ult coming out from Rainbrain there. And right now, RJ just looks really good. Huge capitalization on what I would call a mistake out of PKM there with the Soraka teleport earlier into the bot lane, not getting anything from it. It allowed Shyvana both time alone with that top turret and a kill coming out in the bot lane. However, Maya now looking to pick something up. A flash actually coming out of Aquaman. The mobility, able to jump over the wall, but caught between a rock and a hard place.
Oh, and she dodges that Q too. Will she be able to jump out of this? Nope.
Oh, but they had to use a lot for that. So Aquaman making him work for those kills.
Yeah, you can already tell that the put com is working. It's not exactly the put com that is working, but the fact that PKM is actually making a lot of mistakes in this game, at the same time, they are a very squishy team. The only champion in this composition that will have a little bit of health in the late game is the Lee Sin, and on the other hand, you have a Shyvana. Shyvana will just come into your team and just completely disrupt you, and it's very hard to stop a flying dragon that's coming in.
Yeah, so far I have not been convinced by Arcanine's Soraka in the top lane. Picking up that first blood very early after going 0-2, finally completing the Rada Ages. Not a lot going on, and all across the board right now for PKM, they're just having a few problems. They did get that kill on the Blanc in the mid lane, so Maya playing pretty well. Looks to actually get some more damage out here on Aquaman, but Aquaman does have the magic resist from the Chalice and the heals from, well, being Nidalee. So doing a pretty good job of staying in that lane so far.
Yeah, no, I want to talk a little bit about the builds right there. So Soraka only has a Rod of Ages. She doesn't even have boots at this moment. I don't understand the mentality of going to this game with not even having a boots right there. And you see Arcanine actually having the blue buff, so the blue buff is not transferred over to Maya, who... Oh, she does have, so both of them have the blue buff. I'm sorry, I did not notice that. But it is going to be a very heavy push onto the mid lane right there. But you can see Pikachu actually just free farming the bot lane, so he wants to just farm up a little bit more first. Maya actually taking that shot, ace in a hole for his teammate.
Yeah, a lot of spears hitting here. The ultimate from Caitlyn as well. PKM not a lot of health as the turret goes really low. And here comes the engage from Nami as well. Beautiful escape there from Lee Sin to get out of that ward jumping over the wall. But they're going to have to back up. There's a lot of damage. That mid turret first tier goes down, and they're not quite done yet. Graves has joined the fight now. The question is, will it be enough? The ultimate coming from Shingami as actually Shyvana ulting away from that. RKP using a really good net. Everybody on RJ going really low, but there's not a whole lot of follow-up. Maya maybe...
Oh my god, look at this from that!
No kills going down. Everybody, there's Arcanine. Actually, Arcanine was not able to catch up to the fight initially because of those no boots problems you talked about earlier. And we will walk away from this
Wow.
with 0 kills.
I just Upperman feeling that jump over the blue buff. That was cute. So I'm sorry, that was not what I was meant to say. But they didn't manage to finish off anybody. Not even RKP was dead in that fight. They all survived. And like I mentioned before the start of the game, PKM have a problem in the sense that they do not have anybody in this game that can initiate onto RJ. The only person that can initiate will be Lee Sin with the kick. You don't want your LeBlanc to just jump in and jump out. It's going to be very risky because she might get caught, and everyone else is so squishy that they cannot engage on anything right here.
And that was actually a really good Aqua Prison by Lilibel. Aqua Prisoning where Maya was going to land jumping back. But a nice spell shield coming out saved LeBlanc from that. In the long run, the whole scheme of things are actually RJ picking up the mid tower and a dragon after the end of that fight. And you're right. Like right now, PKM has nobody to engage those fights. Morgana, Shingami tried to make something happen, but RJ basically, essentially, everybody ran away.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a problem that they should really consider with, because I don't think this double AP comp is really working for them, especially when they know that RJ is running that poke composition. I mean, you can see right here that, you know, the spears have been landing shot after shot, and they can't keep up with this. The ultimate comes out.
And they're looking for Pikachu real hard here. Pikachu will not go down. Rain Brain will. The dive maybe going a little too far for RJ. So things looking real good for RJ. Decided maybe a little overconfident they're going to dive, lose 2 members of their team there. Not really sure what RJ was thinking there.
Yeah, I mean,
they were winning that without the need to engage.
Yeah, Little Bell with that ultimate coming out from that that position, I don't know what they were thinking. I mean, probably they were thinking they're trying to tower dive the entire thing, but with the turret being still pretty healthy, and that, you know, our PKM has no means, they are still pretty healthy in terms of their HP as well. So even if he does land a good ultimate from Nami, it's still a very healthy PKM. I don't know what yeah, I have no idea what that really meant. Maybe they wanted to pick someone out, and after getting one member down, they could push down the turret, but obviously it completely backfired on them.
Yeah, especially because there's a lot of damage already coming out from RKP's Caitlyn. In that fight, he had a Zeal and a Bloodthirster. So there's no reason not to just sit there and keep poking people down. Actually upgraded the Zeal into the static now as well. Graves on the other side, only with the Blade of the Rune King so far. So in terms of fighting, there's no reason for RJ to engage right now when they can just continue to put damage on from a distance.
Yeah, and you can tell, like, the ace in the hole has been pretty painful for Maya the entire game.
This is RJ basically taking full control of PKM's jungle right now. It's going to be a blue buff taken away here as well. The dragon not currently up, so there's no reason for that. As we do see Arfode rotating into the top lane, he's just going to continue to push that wave because the second tier top turret has already been taken low. The real question now is, what does PKM do to respond? Right now you see 4 members of their team in the mid lane. The mid lane turret for RJ is still standing, so this might be their chance with Oppaman backing, but doesn't look like they're really going to start any push here. Just a bit of ward clear coming out from PKM, so... And it's a good back for Appaman. He was sitting only on his Chalice as Arfoot actually gets caught up by Shingami. There's no damage on Morgana right now. If you take a look at her items, she has the Spell Thief's Edge, and that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, PKM is on a little bit of a tilt in coming to this game. They are on almost a 4,000. They are on a 4,000 goal lead. RKP does have double buff, and so she can continue dishing out those Piltovers and just annoying the hell out of people in this game. And Appaman has been pretty accurate with his spears this game. Oh!
There's the Shingami again. Shingami dies before the ultimate even comes up. And the disengage, or maybe...
Raven is still alive! Oh, and he just goes down.
Yeah, he's not anymore. Nami coming out. But RKP is here with full health. You cannot keep coming, PKM, because that is the damage to the entire team. Ends up being a 3-for-2, but this will turn out in favor of RKP. Not only did they get the extra kill, they're going to get a turret out of this, no problem.
Yeah, so Morgana, you know, she can definitely engage, but it's a very risky engage. Like, she knows she will die if she dives into a composition like RJ's. It's a considerable dive because, you know, if he catches them out of position, being so closed, Appaman and RKP kind of do a lot of poke if, you know, you're coming on straight onto their face. And so it is a good dive. They did lose 3 members, but they did take away 2 members out of RJ as well. So it's pretty okay. It's a pretty successful engage from them, to be honest with you. But they did manage to stop the push. So they did lose their inner mid turret, which is never good because what happens now is RJ will have a lot more map control. And basically it means that they can go into PKM's jungle and just completely take over the jungle in terms of just warding, and if PKM tries to face check anything, it's going to spell big trouble for them.
Yeah, that was a textbook flash ult from Shingami, but usually when you're doing that as Morgana, you have an hourglass to keep you alive. Dying before the snare even hooked spelled doom before the fight started for PKM. And here's RJ, really good timer on that dragon. Only need 3 members to do it. Appaman just standing here, keeping him zoned off the dragon with the spears. And we are going to get a pause. This might be a bit of a problem. Not sure how the ping is going for the PKM Taiwanese team here. Looks like they might have a disconnect, so we're going to make sure everybody is here. I can't actually read the Korean, so that was maybe a disconnect and a reconnect. We'll have to see. But yeah, as it stands right now, RJ looking really good. It's 5 towers to 1, which is the real big stat to look at. It's also 3 dragons to nothing in favor of RJ. So that gold lead is starting to look real good, 6.5K. You look at the item builds all across the board. In the top lane, Shyvana actually starting with the Hex Drinker against the Soraka, which not a bad idea at all. And if we take a look at the current gold...
Yeah, okay, so Pikachu just reconnected back in. I do think that they are having a little bit of a ping problem. But, you know, it happens with all the international matches that we play because we're not on the same server. And we're not on tournament servers as well, ladies and gentlemen. So you have to bear with us. And to be honest with you, you know, the Japanese players have been playing a lot on like huge pings as well. The last game we played, we had like 350 to 400 ping issues, and we still continued playing. So I don't know if PKM is okay with this. I will probably talk about this during the break after the first game. But as of now, it is 8-6, and RJ has a 6,500 goal lead actually. You know, I do have to agree that PKM's not roster, but the pick and ban phase didn't go very well for them. They banned out Renekton, but they gave Arthur Shyvana, but they didn't take anything, you know, away from that. There's a lot to counter Shyvana. You can take a Trundle, you can take Rise if you want to play a little bit more AP, because Rise is huge late game. And yeah, I mean, I'm very surprised at how the pick and ban phase went for PKM, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think maybe that Soraka was kind of like a, hey, we're going to pull out something a bit more unconventional. So far, it's kind of been shown why nobody picked Soraka in the top lane. Has not gone well, as that top lane turret will go down for RJ. By the way, we have started the game back up in case you missed it. Yeah, so here we are back in RJ looking really strong so far. We're 25 minutes into the game. We already talked all about items, all about gold. So really, let's just take a break, see if RJ can really bait anything out as they've got good pink ward coverage around Baron.
Yeah, this is completely blind coverage coming out from PK at the moment. They do not know where RJ is, but they did walk over a ward, so they know now. But Baron Pit is completely blind in terms of going towards PKM, and I don't know if they need to fight for Baron at this moment. For RJ, they have a substantial lead, a 7,000 gold lead. They don't want to lose Baron and lose a couple members of that. And you're at 25 minutes into the game. It is a okay time to do Baron, but if you die or get aced here, it is going to mean a lot. You're going to lose your mid turret if you lose the Baron, so you don't want to do that. But let's talk a little bit about the
engage coming out.
The engage coming out.
As we also see the tidal wave coming across, Arcanine going very low. Here's the Shingami ultimate. We'll get that on the 3 members. But basically, that was a defensive ultimate because there goes Shingami, and RJ is not finished. Maya going pretty low. Flash is coming up from Little Belt. The Aqua Prison not going to land. Here's the ace in the hole. Not going to pick up any kills, but it's a 1-for-0 so far from RJ, and they're not done as they're knocking on the door of this mid lane tower. Look at the damage coming out. Last Whisper just completed for RKP, and there's only 2 Warden's Mail in terms of defensive items for PKM. So Arcanine very low as well. Going to continue to take damage. The heal's not going to be enough as Rain Brain.
Maya actually had to flash out of that, so LeBlanc's flash will be down as they continuously poke down. We saw how good Shyvana is with split pushing and making 2 members of PKM really just busy over the bot lane, and so the inhibitor turret goes down for PKM, and so this gives a lot of more control than what they already have to RJ. And so right now, Baron is a good pickup for them if they can take it without PKM really noticing. But obviously everybody is around the Baron pit now. We do know that Baron is going to be a big fight coming up for both teams any moment after this. But yeah, I mean, that bottom engagement right there, I don't know what was that. I mean, you shouldn't be so careless with that, and LeBlanc actually had to flash out of that. That is a huge summoner being down for the next couple minutes for them, especially when they are being sieged on by RJ right now.
Yeah, so at this point in time, it's starting to look like RJ's game to lose. Everybody's going to go back, pick up even more items, get even stronger. You're right, we want to take a look, probably start heading towards that Baron, but for the time being, it's really starting to turn into the RKP show. He's 3-0-6, and even in that after the last engagement, when PKM came back and tried to put a little bit of pressure on the mid tower, there was so much damage coming out of RKP. He forced everybody back, and now RK is going to be clearing out all the wards around Baron, as we might see our first Baron of the game. I don't know. PKM knows it's happening, but can they do anything to stop it? Look at the damage coming out of Shingami. Rain Brain doing that all by himself. Arcanine going to get caught out with the ultimate. Your heal's surely not going to be enough. That's going to be a top laner. Soraka going down. That's not the support. Spears coming out. Shingami almost going down as well. And now look for RJ. All members of the team at full health. This should be a very, very easy Baron.
Yeah, and so got caught out again because they want to see if, the Baron is happening. They want to really check what happened to Barons. And that is the big risk that you run if you don't have eyes on Baron. You risk not knowing where they are. You know that they are at the Baron pit, but you have to risk just face checking that and dying from that. And so RJ actually takes down the first Baron in the game. They have complete control of this map right here. They have had all the dragons of the game, and the first Baron of the game has been given to them as well. The goal lead is extended to 11,000 goal lead at this moment, and Upperman is just taking blue buff after blue buff, and he's already at 2-1-4. He is losing on CS though. Let's take a look at how much money he has. He has 9,500, a solid 1,000 gold over his counterpart LeBlanc on the other side.
And there's another ace in the hole out of RKP. I really like this so far. Every time that ultimate is off a cooldown, we see it being fired off. It's not a finisher, it's simply just another source of damage from very long range. Getting a little siege, and actually, hell, Vitalk going real deep. The flash coming out of RKP is actually going to force Lee Sin way into the back lines of RJ. They're going to pick Arcanine up. Lil Bout going really low. His heals should keep him alive, as we now see the dive coming real hard. Arbo taking turret damage. Won't matter. Ray's picking up a kill, but Caitlyn, RKP picking up another one for herself. 5-0-8. That's going to open the door. Another free inhibitor turret for RJ as they look to finish this game out. 3 members of PKM have death timers 10 seconds or more. It's only Maya, Pikachu, Graves LeBlanc up, and right now, really RKP is unstoppable. These turrets are going to fall to his built-over Peacemaker very quickly.
Yeah, I don't think Soraka is going to be a choice for them in the second game coming into this. And the spears have been landing so beautifully for RJ this game. So the first game does go to RJ in this best of 3 series, and so we're not gonna take a break. We're gonna continue talking, but we're gonna talk. I'm gonna talk a little bit to the teams on if there is a huge server problem. I'm sorry, lag problem for them, because I don't know how this is going. But yeah, let's review a little bit on that game. First, let's talk a little bit about the picks and ban, how the pick and ban phase went. They banned out Lulu. They banned out the they didn't actually ban out Kassadin, to be honest with you, because I don't think anybody wants to play Kassadin against or play Kassadin anyway. But yeah, the pick and ban phase didn't go too well for PKN, to be honest with you. They knew that Arthur was going to play Shyvana, but they picked the Soraka anyway. So it depends on your rotations, right? Like the first rotation, the first pick, the second rotation, so the pick. I don't know what's happening, because I didn't expect them to play a team comp, a 2 AP team comp, as well as your AP top being LeBlanc, sorry, Soraka. Yeah, can you just take over, because I wanna
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna
go for
talk
it.
to the
I know you're
team.
trying to coordinate and make sure everything's going
Yeah.
properly. So make sure, just check with them, make sure everything's okay. But yeah, you're right. I'll take it and run with it from there. It really looked like PKM was playing that game on their back foot the whole time. They had no way to really take it to RJ. The big problem, especially with a poke comp, they kept Opperman in check pretty well, but RKP getting the kill early in the top lane versus Soraka and kind of snowballing that out of control, just doing so much damage all across the course of that entire game. Not only did PK not have anybody to engage the fights for them, they didn't have anybody to tank in the fights for them. Obviously, building a Rod of Ages first on Soraka means you're getting a little bit bigger than you might normally, but like you said, there was nothing really PKM could do about it. It'll be very interesting to see what picks they bring out here in game 2. I would be extremely surprised if we see Soraka again. I think that's going to be a one-time thing, at least for tonight. But yeah, congratulations to RJ on a pretty convincing win in game 1. I apologize. I was going to say, I know somebody in chat said I didn't sound very excited, and I think I've got allergies tonight, which is great.
Do you want to go ahead and do the room?
I am way ahead of you, Ferlin.
Yeah. Oh, you are?
I am Fabulous. In the room with Pikachu right now. So.
Oh, okay.
Same as before, same password.
Great.
As long as everybody gets in here. As long as you get in here, because you're the one streaming, we need to get the picks and bans on your screen. There you are. Hi, I'm leaving.
Okay, so Soraka is actually a thing coming out for solo queue, to be honest with you. But I've never really seen her in pro league team plays before. I am strictly talking about NA, EU, and Korea. So I'm not too sure if Taiwan or the GPL scene plays Soraka professionally in terms of top lane, but I haven't really seen it before in NA or EU or Korea at this time. But Yeah, I don't want them to do the same two AP comms again. They might want to, if they want to run with it, it's fine. Just not, maybe not with a Soraka. You can run with something like a Lissandra top or a Lulu top, but I'm pretty sure she's going to be a banned.
Banned, yeah.
Um,
Can't pick her.
a Gragas top. Rise is going to be so good if they do pick that Rise. Rise has been really on the rise again. Oh my god. Oh my
You did
word.
it, Ferlin. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, he is back on the scene,
He
Rise. You
is,
know, his
absolutely.
playing is being played a lot in the different scene, and IEM obviously Rise had a huge comeback in IEM. And what happens is if you play Rise, the other team will have a time limit. You are really playing with a time limit because once
Tick, tick, tick,
Rise
tick,
gets
tick.
going, he gets the kill, and he gets into the late game. You basically can't stop a Rise. You know, you have to commit your entire team to killing him, and once you kill him, your other team is going to completely come in and destroy you at the same time. So I would like to see PKM running a Rise and see how it works.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like, that first game you said was so much already decided by that picks and bans phase. So I'm very, very interested to see how they change things up here in game 2, because this is a best of 3. If RJ takes home game 2, that's it. We're done. I want to see game 3, so I'm really hoping PK is going to bring something out here. Just leave the Soraka at home tonight, maybe. I've seen it work before. It obviously did not work in that game. So yeah, like you said, maybe Rise. I'd love to see a Rise. If you play Rise, you can leave Renekton open. Let the other team pick Renekton, and just play safely. You keep Renekton off of you with the Rune Prison. The only problem with Rise is you put him in that top lane, and it's kind of a long lane for a champion who has no real way to get away.
Mm.
But like you said, you don't have to win lane if you're Rise. Like, all you have to do is stay alive and keep aiming for that late game. So it'll be interesting to see what we do, as we do have the picks coming out for game 2 here very, very shortly. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This is the JCG International Show Match. It's Rascal Jester. We don't really have any way to measure, but I would say arguably the best team in Japan right now, going up against PKMaster from Taiwan. Another kind of up-and-coming, pretty hot team these days over there. So, very, very interesting match in Game 1. Rascal Jester taking it in about 30 minutes. And we'll be here Game 2 very, very shortly. Ferlin's just checking on everybody, making
Yeah,
sure.
I'm sorry if I'm not talking too much. I
No,
am checking with the team on what's happening. So Pikachu is having a pretty bad ping at the moment, but they are going to play game 2. But if midway through the game the ping spikes again, they might stop the game. I don't blame them on doing that because it's never fun to play with a high ping, especially if Taiwan teams have their own servers, and so they are
Right.
used to being playing on like a 6 or like 20 ping, and if you spike up to a 200 ping, it's never fun.
It's a completely different game.
Yeah, it's a completely different atmosphere, and so they're not used to it. But on the other hand, RJ and the Japanese teams have been playing on like 150 to 200 ping in Japan, and so a spike of 100 ping is bad, but it's still manageable for them because we've always been playing on high pings anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
So, well, that's a bit shocking to hear, Pikachu not having the best connection over there. Hopefully that gets sorted out. It's one of those things you can't really do a whole lot about. And like I said earlier, this is kind of one of the problems you run into with these international show matches, is you want everybody to be happy. And when you try to please everybody, you end up pleasing nobody. So we have problems on the Taiwan server when we play on the Taiwan server. We play on the Korean server now. We're having problems on the Korean server tonight.
There
You
is no
know,
win. There is no win in League of Legends. But if you guys are wondering, the Japanese players, me and Corey, we all live in Japan. Me and Corey are folks from Tokyo. Well, he's not from Tokyo. He's like from the countryside.
which is
But
why I'm on Skype tonight, because there'd be no trains.
yeah, so we are playing
Fun
on
fact.
the North American server, so it is the NA server
Usually.
because usually. Well, I am playing a little bit on Korean server now because ping is actually really so much better.
It's fantastic. It's
It,
like
it is.
50.
It's like 50 ping play from Japan in the Korean server, and I've got my friend passing me another account as well, so that's really nice. Because we can't actually get an account from Japan because we don't have social security. But we are on the NA servers usually in Japan. But today we are on the Korean servers. So you guys were wondering before. I think somebody asked what rank am I on in NA? I'm actually in Diamond. I'm a Diamond player. And I haven't been playing a lot, to be honest with you. I've been having a lot of lag spikes in Japan, as everybody has been having. Like, League is basically non-playable for the in Japan right now. Like, I had 8 straight losses because I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. It's fine. This is not going to bother me. But you can't play a 1v5 when all your 4 other teammates have completely just disconnected and lagged out. But so I've stopped League for maybe like a week or two. I play on the Korean server a little bit more now. So yeah. But you know, it is fun. But yeah, I mean, I'm really very sorry towards PKM right now, because I know that Pikachu has lag and ping issues, but it's something that is completely out of our hands, because we tried playing on the Taiwanese server and it's unplayable for the
Yeah,
Japanese team.
that was like 400, 500 ping last time we
Yeah,
tried that.
it's not that it's unplayable for us, not just that, but it was just not okay, because we actually couldn't start the games at all. Like, the server itself would lag out, not just us, the servers will lag out too. And so it's never fun. And so we tried wanting to play on NA, but a lot of the teams don't have an NA account in terms of the Asian teams. And so we are playing on the Korean servers. These are not accounts that the teams have. These are accounts that Riot provides for us. And so initially we thought that because we're from Japan and they're from Taiwan, Korea would be a good centralized spot for everyone, but apparently not so. Huh?
Not tonight anyway, so that's unfortunate. But like you said, it's so hard when you play on a ping that's, well, arguably 10 times higher than maybe what you're used to. So we just want to make sure everybody's playing comfortable, because I know PK as well wants to come out and show you their best, and it's really hard to do that when you're forced to play on such a wonky connection. So hopefully that gets figured out. Hopefully we get to see some more League of Legends. We should. We're scheduled for best of 3, and I want to bring you that best of 3. So, yeah, I don't know. What else is new, Ferlin?
I'm waiting for our foot to come in. Wait, let's ask.
Let's ask. Arfod, where are you? So
I love it, like, how every time when I say I'm Diamond, everyone will be like, "Oh, she got
nobody
carried."
believes you?
Yeah, it's like every female player is being carried. I actually know 2 very fabulous NA Diamond female players, and one of them is actually Japanese, but she doesn't live here. She actually lives in LA.
I see you.
Yeah.
It's
But
okay. I don't believe you half the time anyway, so.
I know, right? But yeah,
But
I mean,
I guess your diamond skills just don't translate over to ARAM. Is probably
yeah. I don't play ARM, but like, it's so sad that there's still a double standard or a stereotype um for women in gaming, because there are a couple of very serious female gamers, but obviously, as serious as we are, it's hard for us to be as into games as our male counterparts are.
Yeah, it's tough, but they do exist. You're here. I know I have a couple friends who play League a lot more seriously than I do, uh, who are also females. So
Right? Yeah, I actually know a lot of female players.
so
Well,
it's true. Ferlin can kick my butt, so I'll give you that one.
we've never really played before.
Well, you will never play against me. You always play on the same team.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we're just waiting for RJ to come into the room. We're waiting on, let's see. Oh, wait, they're just going in and out. I'm very confused. Wait, every RJ player is going out. What is happening? Yeah. But we are waiting. They've all come in. So I think we'll be starting the next game in a minute or two. So very excited to get that going. If you just join us, we are on we finished the first game on this best of 3 series between international show match between Japan's Rascal Justice and Taiwan's PKMaster. The first game did go to Rascal Justice, although I have to mention that PKM is having a little bit of a lag and ping problem. Pikachu is having at least, I think, like a lag spike of at least 200 ping for them, and so it's not fun. But they have agreed to continue playing with the game, and we have to respect their decisions to play, because I gave them a option to not play the game, and we can rearrange it again. But they have respectfully said, we have agreed and we will continue playing. So props to the team. Hats off to them.
That's great, because this is, like you said, it's our international show match here for JCG. There's no money on the line. There's no tournament seating on the line. We're here for League of Legends to have a little bit of fun, maybe a little bit of pride in there as well. But it's great that we're hopefully going to follow this up and get Game 2 started here very, very quickly. But yeah, I don't know. I want Game 2 to start like right now so I can see what the picks and bans are going to be.
I think I think both teams are ready. Give me 2 seconds. I have to.
2.
Well, okay, no, like a minute. So you can continue talking while I just make sure the teams are okay and ready to move into the pick and ban phase. Yeah.
All right. Well, this is me talking. So we are getting real close to getting Game 2 underway. Thanks everybody for stopping by this evening, tuning in. We appreciate it. I know there's a lot of different places you could watch on Twitch, and you're spending your time with us for whatever reason, so thank you. If you want to watch the stream in Japanese, there is also a Japanese stream available. It's twitch.tv/jcglol. So if you want to practice your Japanese, maybe you natively speak Japanese, go ahead, watch it over there. But we'd love if you stick around, watch it here with us.
Oh,
myself, Corey, and the girl saying,
did I just move the stream? Oh my word! I hope I did not do that. Oh, I hope I did not. Oh dear. Oh dear. It looks fine, but like because nothing is being chosen right now. Okay, so we have gone into game 2. We have gone into game 2. RJ is going to be on the blue side this round because PK was on the blue side the previous. Oh no, they just
broke it.
They didn't break it. Someone disconnected.
Oh, great. Just what we wanted. Oh man, I'm telling you, the pollen here in Tokyo these days is just OP, taking me out. Maybe it's the same problem for PKM down there in Taiwan. I don't know. Excuse me.
Yeah, so in Japan there's it's the pollen season, and so a lot of people have pollen allergies, have a lot of difficulties moving around because you can't breathe properly, you're always sneezing. I'm just logging in back into the account because I moved the page earlier on. Oh my God.
Ferlin, why are you moving the page?
I am such a retard sometimes. All the time. Let's be honest.
All right.
Okay.
We'll let it slide. We'll let it slide today. But
please and thank you.
Did you just say please?
Please. Trying to be cute for once, but like completely failing at it. As usual.
Oh boy.
Oh no, I'm on the wrong page. I mean. Okay. Nothing.
I don't even know what to say anymore. I'm completely.
It's okay. Okay, I'm back into the game, and I'm back into making sure everything's okay. Looks like everyone is back into the stream as well, and the game. All the team members are there. And yeah, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit frazzled right now because I'm actually like talking to you guys, talking to Corey, and making sure the team is doing okay.
And talking to everybody.
And both teams. So yeah, we are going into the picks and ban for the second game, Rascal Justice. It's going to be on the blue side. The first ban coming out will be the Pantheon.
All right, not really surprised there. Pantheon, still a very, very strong champion. Strong, I guess, is maybe not the best word. Terrifying is maybe a better word, because he just shows up right behind you when you least expect it, and goodbye to whatever lane you happen to be playing in. Most often it's the bot lane. Do we have another ban out yet? I'm just, it's so frustrating because I have to watch from the stream for this part. Or maybe you're busy. Well,
yeah, and the first ban coming out from PKM will be Evelyn, so not a big surprise there, but I don't think that PKM actually realizes that RJ doesn't actually play.
yeah, I don't think Rain plays a lot of Evelyn.
No, he doesn't play Evelyn at all. And on the second ban coming out will be the same. It's actually the same ban from before. It is going to be Kha'Zix as well. You just don't want to give Kha'Zix away to another player. You know, I mean, he's such a strong champion now.
Yeah, and again, that's another one I think. Rainbrain, I've not seen Rainbrain play a lot of Kha'Zix, and so if you're not going to pick him, you really have to ban that. Well, I guess they don't have the choice because they're blue side, so never mind. Just ignore me entirely.
Yeah, and Lulu is being banned as well. So the complete same bans from the first game. The last ban coming out from RJ will be the Gragas. So we do see RJ with the first pick in this game. So I am looking forward for them to maybe picking up either the top lane or a support first, because they can come out with a so Renekton is open, and we know Arthur likes to play Renekton, he likes to play Shyvana, he likes to play the meta top laners, the really tanky top laners, as well as, you know, Renekton can really slice and dice, get in and disrupt and just separate the team on the other side. And so I think, no, he's actually completely just picking Lee Sin first. I'm really surprised because I thought they might want to lock in a Thresh or a Renekton, but okay, I mean, maybe they don't want to give Lee Sin over to PKM. Maybe that's the thing, because, you know, my LV Talk was playing Lee Sin earlier. Maybe he just doesn't want to give it to him. But on the other side, we do see PKM with their first two picks on their first rotation. It is going to be just Elise, LV Talk on Elise, and Shingami on Leona. So they're just straight out going to play Leona. Not caring, you know, if it's going to be a counter pick or anything, but Leona is always a very safe pick.
You mean a go, let's kill everything pick?
Yeah, but at the same time, Morgana is open, and Morgana is a very strong counter against the Leona. You know, the Zenith Blade has such a long animation that if you're a good support, you can definitely predict where it's going to land and spell shield yourself or your teammates for that. And I'm pretty surprised that they're actually not playing a Rise for any other team. Maybe it's not being caught on yet. But Rainbrain and Appleman have chosen it is going to be Shyvana top lane, and RKP loves his Caitlyn and he's going to stick with it. It's always a very safe pick, but look at that, we have Heimerdinger coming out for Maya. Not being picked in yet, but
lock it
over it. Lucian. I would prefer them to play the Lucian lane compared to the Graves lane, because, you know, Graves takes a while to really amp up his laning phase, and the only really awesome Graves I've seen in a while is Double Lift. He plays a mean Graves as well. But they haven't been locked in yet. Nope, it's a troll. They are going to pick that Renekton because Renekton was not banned in this game. So a little bit upset that we don't get to see the Heimerdinger, but it is going to be Renekton and Lucian to be in that game. And Lucian is a very good pick in the sense that he has very strong early game burst. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Alright. And so it's really good early game burst, and on the other, they have locked that in. RKP is hovering over a lot of champions. I think he's just trolling us on a little bit, so let's just let him, you know, roll through his rotations of champion and see what he locks in with that.
Yeah, there's still a chance for Heimer, right? Right? That last pick could be Heimer. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
I'll get that pick in first.
No freaking way. Okay, so I thought they were gonna lock in that Blitzcrank, obviously not. It looks like Alpha Man will be falling back to one of his, what is going on? Falling back into one of his favorite champions, and it is going to be the Orianna. And like I said, you know, Thresh isn't being picked, and they will pick up that Thresh because Thresh is still very, very popular in Japan. Still a very good pick and very solid pick, especially with a Caitlyn as well. Oh, look at that! Pikachu is actually hovering over Rise, and then back to Heimerdinger, and then Kassadin, and then, you know, just wait for him to really see what he wants to play.
Oh, Pikachu.
I don't know if he's going to play Kassadin, but he might. It might be a Rise mid lane. We have seen that. Just a couple days ago in EU. They did play Rise mid lane. I think Peggy was the one who played mid Rise. I'm not sure. But yeah, I did say just now, you know, that Thresh is going to be the pick for RJ, and Lilbert loves his Thresh. He likes playing the hard engage support champions. Pikachu is running through things, but he has locked in that Nidalee, so they are going to take Nidalee away from Opperman, and it is going to be a little bit difficult for Maya in the early game because Orianna is a very, very good, very, very good early game CS champion. She will bully you out of lane and get all the CS that she needs, and yes and no, but after level 6, after level 6 is when Nidalee can really start to farm well when she has her Kruger form. Before that, she can put you down with spears, but not as good as a farmer compared to Orianna. So can you see the picks now?
Yeah, so
Are
I
you
do see
updated
both.
with them?
I do finally have both teams here. I'm looking at them with everybody looking at them at home. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. I like RKP on this Caitlyn, especially after what he did last game. I like Little Belt picking up Thresh, which is going to allow them a little bit of disengage from a full-on Leona engage. I like PKM's bot lane a lot better this time. You mentioned that a little bit earlier already, but Lucian is just such a stronger pick in general.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Leona to go along with that. Caitlyn's a pretty squishy champion, so if they can lock her up, it'll go well for PKM. On the other side, we see some different junglers coming out. Rainbrain on Lee Sin. I've seen Rainbrain play Lee Sin. I've seen Rainbrain play Lee Sin very well, and I've seen him play Lee Sin not so well.
Yeah.
So that'll be really interesting. I feel like we didn't talk a lot about Rainbrain's Vi in the last game, but he made a lot of stuff happen.
Oh yeah, he made a lot of huge vault breakers. Not a vault breakers, but assault and battery, because he
Right.
really jumped in and went in really deep. Like he dived in hard with that Vi pick. I think he'll do the same thing because I think Lee Sin and Vi works similarly ish in a sense that they can actually jump to another champion. In terms of Lee Sin, it's that sonic wave to jump in and kick back somebody, but with Vi it's the vault breaker to go in and stun you with the sudden battery to lock you up. But I do think Rainbow is going to be okay with this Lee Sin, although obviously you have to see if he is going to do it well in terms of having it, you know, there is a lag problem for both sides of the team. So we'll see what happens with that. But what do you think? Who would you give this to in terms of just based on picks and ban?
Well, coming straight out, I'm going to say I like PKM's picks a lot better than last time. They've got engaged this time. If they're going to win a game, they're going to have a better shot at doing it this game. But with RKP on his Caitlyn, Opperman playing Orianna, who is arguably Opperman's favorite champion, and playing against a champion he knows really well as well, using the momentum they gained from game one, and maybe a little bit of the ping problems, if you want to add that up, and say game two probably goes to RJ, in my opinion.
Okay, okay. I do agree. I do like PK's pick a lot better than obviously the game before. The disaster of a game, to be honest with you, they had before that. I do like RJ's pick in terms of late game comp because you know, Oriana is a huge team fight champion. You know, there's different champions for different things. You have Nidalee, it comes in a put-com position, and then you have assassins like LeBlanc, but Oriana is a team fight champion, and you have a Lee Sin as well as a Shyvana. So there's a lot of things that you can do with Oriana this game. So I want to see RJ play this well, but I want to see PK actually winning this game because I want to see a game 3, but I want to see what PK can actually bring to the table, more importantly.
Yeah. So, yeah, I like that out of RJ. The Thresh and the Oriana is going to give them a lot of control in these team fights, even if they get solar flared on by Leona. One thing, it'll be really interesting to see what PK does when this, in this game is Arcanine. Arcanine is kind of the wild card. We saw him play Soraka last game. We didn't see much happen. He has Renekton this time, and he's going up against the Shyvana. So in terms of champions, he should be able to do very well against that Shyvana early in lane, as opposed to last game. But like I said, we didn't really see a whole lot out of his Soraka. I don't know if it was the champion or the player, but that's going to be a really, really important point for PKM here in game 2.
Yep, I see we have dropped a lot of viewers, and that I don't know if it's because, you know, you're mad at PKM for losing the first game, but I hope you guys stay with us. You know, it's a very exciting match, to be honest with you, and I hope you guys stay with us for the rest of the games. But we are going to game 2. First game was given to RJ. And so let's see how game 2 works out for PKM this round. We are going into game.
Going into game. No, I don't have any idea.
I don't. We are going into game. It is the second game of the JCG International Show match between Japan's Rascal Jester RJ versus Taiwan's PKMaster, also known as PKM. RJ is going to be on the blue side this time around, and PKM is going to be on the purple side.
All right, so let's do this. Are you ready for Lynn?
I am very ready to go. So both teams has gone to the bottom side of the lane. Only with Shyvana staying at the top. This is going to be a huge fight if they do want to commit with it. I think this is going to be the new way of going into games because of how different the trinkets is and the timing for the wards now, and so I'm very excited to see more level 2 fights, level 1 fights again, because we haven't seen that in a long time. We've seen occasional level 1 fights, but this new changes has brought in a lot of, you know, arguments in terms of is this a good change or is this a bad change. Even pros have been seeing pros and cons on it, but PKM is sticking onto this strategy. They're not letting up. They can't put on a ward yet because of the trinket changes, but they are going back to their own side of the jungle right now. So no level 1 huge engagements, a little bit of poke here and there, but no first blood going anywhere. No lane changes as well, because I know the Chinese teams and the Taiwan teams love to play with lane swaps, but there are no lane swaps coming in this game. So no early pushing, no top towers and bottom towers going down too early as of yet.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting. I know last game we saw the lane swaps and it was Rascal Jesters doing. This time, nothing doing, as we see both junglers starting on the bottom side of the map. Here we go. This is game 2 JCG International Showcatch. Showcatch? Wow, that's not a word. Show match. If Rascal Jester takes home game 2, it'll be the show match in their favor. It's PKM from Taiwan trying to make a game 3 happen. So here we go.
Yeah, my friend just texted me on my phone, so it's just like the Twitch is pretty much bugged out as of right now. But yeah, we are going into game 2. Let's get this started. Lil Belt's actually taking a lot of poke already, a lot of punishment in the bot lane already, so not going very well. So it is an advantage for PKM now. I'm just kidding. We are 2 minutes and 47 seconds into the game. Nothing to. I'm gonna change the players now because I didn't do that just now.
Oh, yeah,
sorry.
Keep those straight.
Yep.
Absolutely. But yeah, not a whole lot. Again, we saw both of these junglers starting at their respective bottom sides. Lisa at blue, Lee Sin at red, which means a level 3, a 3-minute gank here in the top lane could be coming. Lee Sin looking for it. But LVTOK making his way up there as well. A lot of damage coming on Arcanine. He's going to be able to slice and dice away, as in the bot lane, RKP getting caught by Leona Z. No damage coming out of Pikachu. So in both of these lanes, everybody's going to walk away happy campers. However, Lee Sin throwing Qs down onto Elise. But they're going to walk away as well. So nothing doing here at level 2-in.
Yeah, as I just try to say something, there's a pause again on the game. It looks like Pikachu has dropped out of the game, as we hope that he comes back into game fairly fast. While that happens, we're going to shift back to studio so you don't have to watch the timer and you can see the beautiful face of the very beautiful Corey Swanson. Okay, it looks like everybody's dropping out, so let's just hope that they can get into game real soon. Bot lane for both teams have been going very aggressive on each other. You know, a lot of back and forth there. Caitlyn can really poke down the other team fast, but at the same time, Lucian has a lot of burst damage. One of the highest burst damage in terms of ADCs. Yeah, I think Arcanine just got back in the game, but it looks like the entire PKM has actually disconnected. Yeah, let's take a look at a little bit of the CS, because we can only talk about the CS at 3 minutes 38 seconds.
Yes, those
in the game.
3.5 minutes.
Yeah,
CS
big CS, but 18 to 9. Yeah, wow. Huge. And like I said before, I am on this wrong. I have Nidalee as the jungler. That is not right. 10-10 for the junglers. As we have said before, Orianna is a better CS farmer in terms of early game, and so she has a 6 CS lead over the other side. And we do see Leona actually starting with, you know, I cannot remember the name for that. Oh, Relic Shield. It's in Korean here. Relic Shield. So you know, it's a standard, I guess. Yeah, no, it's not really standard. I would prefer her to start with a Doran's shield, to be honest with you, but you know, yeah, to each its own. But yeah, the PKM is just disconnecting left and right here. Hopefully that gets solved really soon. Yeah, I'm just gonna see what's happening.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, so far we're seeing RJ. I mean, you have the champions that are able to push, but both the bot and the mid lane's pushing. That's why you're starting to see CS advantages already developing. And I like that strategy, especially because we just saw both junglers in the top lane. So in the bot lane, they know they're safe. RJ knows that they're allowed to push this lane with the river warded as well. And playing on the blue side, there's a lot less worry of that gank coming in from behind. As long as you keep everything warded, and as long as you know where the junglers are. I guess it doesn't matter what side you're on if you know where the junglers are.
True that. As we keep talking about this, PKM, I don't know if they're actually going in or coming out of the game, because I don't read Korean. If any of you reads Korean, no, we're actually going back into game. Game 2. Okay, we are back into game. It looks like all the team members have rejoined the game, and we are just going back into game 2 of the JCG International Show match. Oh my word, I'm gonna take this away.
All right, but yeah, here it is, that push again in the bot lane. RJ already starting to do damage to this turret in the bot lane. Has the E's, the flays, everything gonna miss in the bot lane. A nice reactive flay. We do see Rainbrain in the top lane for a possible gank on Arcanine. Elise nowhere to be seen.
Oh, as we run into another pause.
It's a pause.
Yeah, I'm really sorry, guys, if you know there's so many pauses in this game. It's out of our hands, because this is not a tournament server. It's actually just the live service everyone is playing. So we can't predict, you know, what's happening, if there's a lag spike or there are server issues, and so you know, we can only hope that it will go well for everyone. I am receiving reports that the Twitch service has a little bit of problems too. So maybe it's just a combination of bad pings everywhere.
The internet is under attack as we know it. Armchair warriors, prepare yourself. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a must for the JCG show matches. You know, we are just going in and out of games every time we actually played international. Oh, we're back at studios, and I don't know what you're doing, but you're on stream.
Oh, well, that's great. I was blowing my nose. I thought we were looking at the pause screen.
Yeah, that was very Ayashi.
Awesome,
But...
great. like I said, my nose, my allergies.
I keep turning back, and we're actually back into the game again.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
Hopefully this time it lasts. But yeah, no first blood coming out 4 minutes into the game. Rain Brain is still.
Right. So before the pause, we talked about a possible gank in the top lane. After the pause, we do see an actual gank in the top lane. However, nothing really comes of it, as Arcanine is able to get away from that. Once again, a Q lands on a little bit on the Leona. That's not really who you want to pull in this lane. He's going to have to back up, get away from that as quick as possible as the farm continues. Pink's coming out, Elise looking for a possible gank in this bottom lane. The ward down there has expired as well, so here's a really good E coming out of Shingami. Elise coming in, RKP taking a lot of damage. Lilibel actually taking the cocoon for his team. And they're both going to walk away from this. However, it will be a flash barrier used for RKP. A flash coming out of Little Belt as well. And all the flashes are up there for PKM, so...
Yeah,
successful game.
I don't like how RJ actually played that. As a support player, as a bot laner, you need to have that 6 spider sense to come in and know when... Oh, Aquaman in trouble.
Speaking of knowing when to come in, here's LV Talk. Getting a gank in the mid lane.
Oh!
And wow, there's the first blood. Stepping a little too far forward. Oppaman trying to get an extra few ticks of damage on Maya. Cannot avoid the spear. Wow. So you talk about hitting spears. Oppaman doing a good job hitting him. That's going to be Arcanine absolutely making a huge difference already in this game. He's going to flash, pick up a kill in the top lane as well.
Okay, so in the last minute, 2 deaths. So let's just... Hopefully there's no immediate action. But... Lil Belt and RKP did not sense that gank coming. You can tell that it was coming because Lil Belt was landing so many auto attacks on Shingami. And look, another one that's coming again.
There's a good play. Lil Belt's going to have to actually cue everybody away. He might give this up. However, he will escape. So Lil Belt actually doing a really good job there. But RJ, no wards down here. The reason that first gank went so well is because the ward had just expired. And now Elise coming in for another gank. No wards. RKP actually putting his trinket in the tri-bush there as well. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I thought that the Lily spear was either really good aim, accuracy coming out from Maya, or just Aquaman sidestepping a very ugly way. But in any case, first blood does go to Maya, which is really good because she needs that early game lead to really skill herself. But that top lane though, I mean, Shyvana went into basically commit split side. She went in to give the kill, to be honest with you. And
yeah, it's very interesting. We talked about that in the top lane. If you're Renekton, you can kind of beat up on Shyvana a little bit early before she starts to build those items, before she gets her ultimate. They are level 6 now. And on top of that, in these other 2 lanes, right now, Elise is making a huge difference in this game. So, 2 ganks in the bot lane, the mid lane gank helping secure the kill for Maya as well. It's 2-0 in favor, and we might see some more action in the bot lane as LV Talk is here again. The cocoon's going to land. Lilibel taking a lot of damage. Surely he will not escape, so luckily this time. Rain Brain, however, backing things up. Not going to pick up a kill as Maya comes down as well. E coming out of Leona. Net from RKP. Will it be enough? Looks like it will. So they will give up Lilibel in this. This is a 4-man push in the bot lane. Absolutely no rotation, no reaction out of Oppaman there. So, wow. PKM making things look pretty good.
Yeah, I mean... Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I didn't actually pay a whole lot of attention. Did Maya come down the river? Did she come from the jungle? I think it was through the jungle there, and the wards had expired once again.
No, yeah, I mean, it's a very, very good start coming out from PKM. I mean, a very early 3-0 lead, and already they have a 1,000 gold lead. And all this is just coming from the kills, first blood kills, as well as not farm actually. They're actually losing out on farm. But those kills, the 1,000 gold is coming from that 3 deaths that RJ has basically just given to them, to be honest with you. RJ and Arcanine is going to have a bashing fest in this top lane until we hit mid game. where Shyvana has a little bit of a spike, but early game she's going to be a little bit pushed by Arcanine because Renekton has a really strong early game.
And so once again, LV talked that Elise making all the difference in the world this game. PKM has a jungler making things work as they actually pick up RJ's blue buff, forcing Rainbrain off, almost killed him, had to get the save from Oppaman. And Oppaman in the mid lane just blowing his ultimate as well to kind of get away from that.
Oh, wow!
Bot lane. RKP wasn't even there. Lil Belt just getting caught out, and it's going to be another death for Lil Belt. He's 0-2 as pings come out, and it's going to be PKM rotating for the first dragon here. They should be able to pick that up very easily.
That was a tower dive coming out from PKM in the bot lane. They just went straight in with the Zenith Blade to lock down on the Thresh. I mean, it's actually a very bad Thresh. It's not going very well for the bot lane of RJ, to be honest with you, because a Thresh and Caitlyn should out CS the other team and do a little bit better, because Thresh is a soft counter towards Leona. So in terms of just technically, RJ bot lane should be doing better, but after giving up that bot lane, you know, losing the 2 summoners, they have not been having a great time. And we saw just now PKM taking the first dragon of the game. Last game they couldn't even take 1 dragon off of them, but this game they got the first 4 kills and the dragon to, you know, add on to that.
And that was Lil Belt hitting his flays again, so doing a pretty good job of keeping the Leona off, but it has not been enough as that bot lane not going so well. PKM, that's PKMasters, looking like a completely different team this game. First game not going so well, but now they are really looking like this up-and-coming team from Taiwan. They look like this team that is in the LNL. Yeah, it's just a completely different look we see coming out. Maya getting the heals as well, gonna get the mid turret. However, there's a nice gank in the bot lane coming out from Rainbrain. Ignite's gonna go down. The last hit will go on to RKP, so they picked 1 up. But they can't stick around too long, as we might see a Nidalee roam coming down. Arpod as well in the top lane getting bullied around as Elise up there with those dual buffs. Basically just going to zone him off that turret. And that's going to be another turret here for PKMaster.
Yeah, I mean, Arpod is not having a good time. She gave up 1 kill to Renekton early on in the game, and now PKM can actually put on the pressure on them and maybe take down this first, not first actually, might take down the top turret for them, because they actually did take down a first turret and it was the mid turret for them. Was it a mid turret? Yeah, it is the mid turret for them. But on the other hand, RJ did manage to take up the first turret for themselves, and Oppaman is getting caught out by PKM in his own jungle.
A lot of damage as well. Gonna actually die there, trying to repel away from it, and that's gonna be real good news for RJ because they wanted to pick up that Elise, and they're not done yet. Here comes Rainbrain into the mid lane. Shingami's here, but this will be all 5 members of RJ looking to maybe do some sort of push here. It's a 4v5 situation. However, Arpod under half HP, Rainbrain as well only has half HP, and it looks like Rascal Jester is going to have to back away from this one for now.
Yeah, let's take a look at how the builds are going. We see Renekton not going for the standard Sunfire Cape. Interested to see what he's going to build with that Spectre's Cowl, but yeah, we'll just see what happens with that. None of the AD carriers have really completed their first major item yet, albeit it's only 12 minutes into the game. But, you know, PKM is actually doing a fairly decent job compared to the first game. They have a 1,600 gold lead right now. They have a 2 turret lead, and they had the first dragon, so if they can continue this pressure, it's going to be really, really good for them, and maybe we can see a comeback for them in the second game. But they don't want to continue giving kills to RKP. We know that he's actually a insane, he's actually really, really good AD carry, and so you don't want to beat him early in the game, and he already had 1 kill, and so, you know, you don't want to really, we call it in Japanese sodatsu, don't want to sodatsu RKP.
Yeah. I actually really like that Spectre's Cowl as the first item up there in Arcanine because so much of Shyvana's damage comes out as magic damage. And you can actually see now he has the Tiamat as well. So he's going to start, you know, he's had a pretty good time bullying Shyvana in the top lane. And even with that Sunfire Cape, Arcanine's going to be able to just kind of ignore some of that, keep the wave push. And you can see right here, there they are bashing on each other. Basically, look no further if you want to see what top lane is like in Season 4, because we've been seeing this for months, and it has not changed. As we do have the Solar Flare coming out in the mid lane. A nice catch-up from Shinigami here. Opperman using his ult to try and maybe escape. Nothing doing. And that's going to be another free kill there for Pikachu. So in terms of AD carries now, Lucian sitting at 2-0-1. Has the Blade of the Rune King completed. Rainbray maybe looking for a kill here on Shinigami. Going to have to back up as Elise comes in. Ward jumping over the walls. The Cocoon will not hit.
Did you see that?
Going deep as well.
Elise actually flashed for that. Did manage to get the kill too. So Elise has no flash down while Lee Sin still has his flasher. So this is a good sign for RJ to know that, you know, Elise does not have her flash with her. But they have really good rotations now, and they went down straight to mid lane, got half HP of that turret. So it's a huge comeback for PKMasters. They went in, come back, and took down half HP of the turret. This is good news for them. But Aquaman dying twice already, getting caught again and again. And you can see the split push already happening. Maya is down at the bot lane, taking out the last outer turret for RJ. And so it is 3 for 1, and the death sentence just misses onto Maya.
Yeah, so right now, I really like what PKM is doing. They really got basically out-objectived in the last game, and they've come out really strong here. 3 turrets already. First dragon. Next dragon's going to be up here in 5 seconds.
I can't believe I just realized this, but do you know what PKM stands for?
Is it Pokemon Master?
Yeah, I just realized it's Pokemon Masters after looking at their names. Oh, that is cute. I was thinking about it the entire game, like, what is PKM? And I looked at the names, I'm like, oh, Pokemon Masters. And because PKM does have the timer on the dragon, they will be taking that second dragon of the game. They have a 4,000 goal lead, and we do see the 1th million. Did
you say 1th million?
What? Yeah, I oh my word, 1 millionth pause coming out of the game.
All right, well, I think that's a very fitting name, I guess, if we're talking about PKM being Pokemon Masters, because like we said, they are one of the up-and-coming teams in the Taiwan scene, and so they want to be the very best, like no one ever was. as they follow that dream. But on the other side, I see just a few questions going out in chat. You know, is Rampage the top team in Japan? I would honestly say RJ is the top team in Japan right now. Rampage probably taking a second backseat place to them. So it's a pretty good match here to see RJ facing off against the Pokemon Masters. But you can actually see Arfode might be in for a bit of trouble as we have the Gank Squad heading into that top lane. And Arfode looks like he might be able to get away. There's the Lantern Express, giving him a little extra mobility. But again, this is a 4-man push in the top lane. RJ, only 3 members up there to counter it.
Yeah, so it looks like PKM has found their stride back in this game. They lost it in the first game, but they are finding it back here. And Rainbow is getting chased down from Maya. You can't run away from a Nidalee, but if you're Lee Sin, you might be able to. The Zenith Blade actually lands onto Rainbow, but where is Nidalee? Is he gonna come in with the spear? The spear actually hits the golem, and Rainbraid is still running from this, but dies to the trap of all things.
All calculated, all planned. Nidalee knew there was a trap there, managed to chase him over it, and doesn't get much better than that, right?
Doesn't get much better. It's like the perfect ending if you're a Nidalee. You'd be like, you missed my spear, I can't catch you down, but you know what? You're gonna die to my freaking trap. Yeah, and so let's look at the score now. It's 2 for 6 as a 5,000 goal lead. And I want to see what, as we said with the Spectral Cowls, I want to see what he actually built, Renekton built into it.
Oh, there's a nice ball delivery system though out of Little Belt. Jumping over the wall with his death sentence. Opperman, outroad, all 3 members here. Will it be enough? Here comes the ultimate. That's going to be another kill for RKP. That's exactly where RJ wants to put those kills. Arcanine, however, here, slicing, dicing, flashing all over the place. Lilibel's going to go down. Arcanine going real deep for that kill, but he's so big right now. He should be able to walk away from that. No real big problems. You can actually see RKP and Opperman just saying, whatever, get out of here. We want the blue buff.
Yeah, you can see, though, he just got his... He's not that tanky as you would really imagine. I don't know what he's actually trying to build it into, because I thought he was going to build into a Spirit Visage or a... He's not going to build a Banshee's build for sure. You know, he has that Spectre Cow, so I'm really interested to see what he's going to build with that. But he is a little bit big now. It's 2 for 0 in this game, so he is really just trying to make himself the big monster in this game. Alligator or crocodile, not really sure which one it is yet.
So, and we actually saw Pikachu almost getting caught out there in the bot lane, but that's where the item differences come into play. He has the Blade of the Rune King as opposed to RKP's Bloodthirster, and he was able to use that on Arfode and run away as they had no way to slow him down. No red buff on RKP, who's now holding the red buff. So yeah, it's 3 kills to 7 currently in favor of PKM. And so far, this is a completely different match. PKM looking really good. RKP kind of the chosen one right now for RJ as the Solar Flare comes out in the mid lane. But RJ looking to maybe turn this around. Maybe they're looking to turn it around a bit too hard because Rainbrain loses 2/3 of his HP in that engagement as they're forced to run away. They do see LV Talk as he's getting rid of a ward in the bush there. Takes a little bit of damage from RKP, but everybody's once again just going to walk away as the push continues. That's going to be the 2nd tier bot lane turret. And look at the damage going on to RKP. 1 spear, half your health bar.
Yeah, I mean, you want to Nidalee because she can really split push and she can just jump out of it with her Cougar form. And she's taken down by herself 2 turrets from the bot lane already. So this split push comp is working really well for PKM at the moment because they're sending a lot of players just trying to save the mid lane, but completely forgetting that Nidalee is actually split pushing all the way at the bot lane there. And I think the only good thing coming out is RKP is still winning on the CS and has that 2 kill for herself. Does have that Bloodthirster as well, so...
And sneaky, you see this? We might have a bit of a Baron bait. They're all hiding in the bush here. Rainbrain finds it out, gets out, says, this is not a place I want to be. Sorry to cut you off, but we're having a little surprise party there. But boy, yeah, I like what's going on, and here's LVT. He's actually going to pick up Lilibel, so Lilibel gets dropped, gets caught out. The river bait didn't work, but the rotation into that top tower surely did. RJ's going to do their best to take the mid turret, but it's a 1st tier, and it looks like they're going to trade this top 2nd tier turret for it. All 5 members of PKM pushing really hard, and with Thresh down and Lee Sin not anywhere close, it'll be interesting. Actually, PKM will back off of this one. Clear out a few wards here. But boy, actually this is going to be a Baron started because they know Lilibel's not here. Lee Sin's still in the area, but RJ, are you going to be able to get here in time?
Yeah, RJ is hot on their heels. They might be able to get there in time, but this is a very risky move for both teams because it's all up in the air, and Opperman is getting chunked down fast and goes down straight out.
I was going to say it was a good 3-man ult from Opperman, but Opperman did not live very long after that. The Ignite on Renekton. Renekton is actually going to walk away from this and live. Arcanine, you are going to get out of here. But Shingabi's going to get kicked. He'll be killed. It's not over yet. RKP trying to do a little bit of damage with the ace in the hole. The spear's coming out. PKM, you are on the wrong side of the river right now. They're going to try and back. No wards in this bush. Rainbrain, they're going to walk over the ward. The Q's going to hit. He's not in range to follow it up. Rest of